Hi, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is a mixture of a quick update and hopefully some career tips. I've been with the company that I've worked for 5 years now, a little over 5.5. I've worked in 3 different roles, all in the same place, global teams, local teams, and I've recently decided that it was time to move into a new role. So I'll actually be leaving my current role to start a new team. Not to start a new team, to join a new team in about 4 weeks. But I wanted to just quickly give you a story, which hopefully helps you figure out, where do I need to be if maybe you're at a company that you don't want to leave, but it's good enough to stay, but the job you're in right now isn't working for you. So I've been in tech long enough because 5 years is kind of almost a lifetime with the way that everything moves, especially with accelerating the use of AI and all the things, all the changes that the tech bros have inspired all the other companies to do. And this time, right, it was about 3 months ago. So it was like after the holidays, after Christmas. I was on medical leave for a little bit, and I came back like, okay, I'm gonna commit to my role, okay? Because usually by now I get like a 12-month itch for some reason to want to move around. But I was like, I'm determined to make it work. And then it's almost as if life was like, nah. And so then I was led to kind of figure out where my next career change would take me. So I spoke to a couple of different mentors, partially to see, if there were opportunities available that maybe I couldn't see, but also to really learn how should I go about this, because so much has happened in my personal life where I feel like I really need to be intentional about everything that I do. And so this one particular, she's like SVP of something. I've really, been inspired by her since coming here. She's climbed up the ranks, she's led teams, she's done some cool stuff, and she's very widely respected by like so many different people, and just one of those people that's just pleasurable to talk to. So I reached out to her, and she asked me one simple question. She was like, forget about the job titles, forget about tasks, like what are 2 to 3 characteristics that actually describe you as a person? And it's like a light bulb went off in my head when she asked me that question, right? The first word that came to mind was that I'm an advocate. Very, very interesting because I think like most people, but I'll add like a little bit of an accelerator for me. Like, it's way easier for me to advocate on behalf of somebody else than it is like for myself. So that was like my first answer. And she was like, oh, that's good. Write that down. Some other words came in the second one, because the third one I think I'm still thinking about. And she told me this is an answer that could change, and it's also one that could take some time. So curiosity is like the second one, right? I'm very inquisitive. Even if I don't ask the questions out loud, like I'm always thinking about like why behind really anything. So that one word, like being an advocate, kind of like reset a lot of stuff. Ooh, this curl on the side, excuse me. So then I looked at my career thus far. One, I've been in pre-sales, or has a couple different names, a solutions consultant, technical sales, it has a couple of different names. But in that job, I was advocating on behalf of the company to a customer to prove that the solutions that the company sells would solve their real world problem. In enablement, it was a two-way street because I was advocating on behalf of enablement to, earn the trust of leaderships from customer facing teams in the field. In this case, it was pre-sales. And then I was advocating for pre-sales to make sure that their feedback was included in like the initiative, the content, the training, the onboarding. So I was a voice in and a voice out. And then thirdly, I recently launched a career coaching business where ironically I help people figure out the same thing that I figured out. And so in that, I'm an advocate because I'm helping my clients build self-advocacy in themselves. So they know how to go to bat for themselves. They know how to pivot and change fields and even negotiate with confidence. So the thread had been there. I just didn't see it until I had someone, ask me a very simple question like, what are 2 or 3 characteristics that actually describe you? So I finally had a word for it. And the thing about that, right? When you actually know, kind of who you are, even if it's just like a little bit, you start making moves and doing things that actually fit you and are in line with what you really do want. So next month, I'll be stepping into a new role as a customer success manager. I'm actually really excited. It's something very new. Like, I've never done anything like this before. I've always worked on the pre-contract or the pre-sale side of things. And then I went into like a more like back office, supportive, but still strenuous kind of job. And I'm actually relieved, even though it's something I'm doing that's very new, because who I am at my core and what I do will actually start to line up. And my whole motto is like, if I have to spend a large portion of my life working, it shouldn't suck. And I feel like it doesn't suck if you actually do things that are aligned with you. It should make showing up on those days and dealing with certain stuff that like a smidge easier and lower that blood pressure. So with this, right, the channel, I'm finding my way to being consistent, which is why I wanted to come out here and basically reintroduce myself. So if you're new here, my name is Brittany. Thank you for coming by. And I'm going to use this as a pivot point for a lot of things. So I'll probably have advocacy adventures. I do have a Substack, if you're not following that, where I do talk a lot more about this pivot journey. And I kind of re-announce like my plan for the channel and for my writing. So if you're in the middle of a career pivot right now, I see you. We're here. I've been there, still going through it, and I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Or if you just want to be, around for the vibes, you want to be in the room where it happens, if you get that reference, comment, subscribe, let's hang out, because I do think this will be the beginning of some interesting and hopefully valuable stuff for you. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.